Hello, you gorgeous people. So as part of your level 3 personal trainer award, you have to write 1, 2, 3 periodized programs. So the periodized session that I'm using is linear loading. Remember, you've got linear, non-linear, step loading, and other forms of periodization that you can use to create your programs. So today I'm using linear loading. So remember, we need to use our micro sessions and our mesocycles. So we need to show which part of the program that this relates to over the 12-week program that we need to write for our clients. So here I'm using micro 1 in mesocycle 1. I'm using microcycle 5 in mesocycle 2. And I'm using microcycle 10 in mesocycle 3. So if we look here, the program will follow your normal level 2 program. We need to do your warm-up and your dynamic stretches. So here I'm going to use cross trainer because I want an all over body warm-up. We're going to use 5 minutes. We're going to be RPE between 4 and 7 and add in 4 teaching points for using the cross trainer. We're also going to do 2 upper and 2 lower body dynamic stretches, on which we're going to do 10 repetitions in each stretch. Then we're going to move on to the main CV. Okay, so we've got different training systems we can use in CV training. Remember, continuous training, interval training, and fartlek. And then the intervals can be broken into aerobic intervals, lactate intervals, and creatine phosphate intervals using those 3 different energy systems. So here I'm using treadmill. I'm doing aerobic intervals. It's going to be for 10 minutes. And we're going to do 1 minute at RPE 6. And then we're going to work at RPE 8. So the work rate is 1 minute RPE 8. Then we're going to rest at RPE 6 for 1 minute. We're going to do 5 rounds equaling 10 minutes. And we're going to write in here 4 teaching points for using the treadmill. Now let's come on to the resistance training. Okay, you need to show 2 different training systems in each of the program. So 6 different training systems in total. Training systems, I mean agonist superset, antagonist superset, ascending pyramid, descending pyramid, drop sets, cluster sets, negative reps. You can do pre-exhaust, post-exhaust, all which we have done on your course or in your manual. So let's look here. You've got 5 spaces for 5 different exercises. So here, exercise and training system. So the exercise and the training system, I'm going to use chest press and seated row. That's going to be an antagonist superset. So antagonist superset, remember, 2 opposite muscle groups, 2 exercises back to back, no rest. We're going to do 2 times 15, 30 kg, and that's going to be 60% of your 1 rep max. Okay, and then 4 teaching points for each of the exercise within that superset. Then I'm going to move on to leg press. I'm going to do an ascending pyramid. So ascending, meaning we're going to start off high reps, low resistance, going all the way up to low reps, high resistance. So we're going to do 3 sets in total. The first set will be 1 set at 15 reps at 65% of the client's 1 rep max. In this example, it's 20 kg. Then I'm going to reduce the amount of reps, but increase the percentage of 1 rep max. So here I'm going to do 10 repetitions at 70% of 1 rep max, increasing the weight to 30 kg. And then the final set within that pyramid set will be 5 reps at 85% of the client's 1 rep max, which will be 40 kg. So far now you can already see I've got 1, 2, 3 exercises completed, and I've shown 2 different training systems within that training program. Now I'm going to move on to multiple sets for the last 2 exercises. So I have shoulder press and forward lunge. I'm going to put in here what equipment I'm going to be using. So for the chest press, I'm using barbell. For the seated row, I'm using the seated row machine. For the leg press, I'm using the leg press machine. For shoulder press, dumbbells. For forward lunge, dumbbells. So write in the equipment. So for the multiple sets, I'm using 3 times 12 at 60% of my client's 1 rep max. Remember, 60% now is telling you that this is going to be an endurance training program, okay? Except for the pyramid. So we're going to do 3 sets, 12 repetitions at 60% of the client's 1 rep max, and we're going to rest 30 seconds between each set. So that's the resistance training. Then for the cool down, I'm going to use upright bike, 10 minutes. Remember, RPE, same like on your level 2, is between 7 and 4. 4 teaching points for the upright bike. And we're going to finish off with 2 upper body and 2 lower body static stretches. Now, your static stretches can be either maintenance stretch or it can be a developmental stretch. You decide. Depending on whether it's maintenance or developmental, will depend on the amount of time. Remember, maintenance is about 10 to 15 seconds, developmental between 30 seconds to 1 minute. If you want to do PNF, then you can add a PNF stretch in there also, which would be quite beneficial for your client. Micro 1 in mesocycle 1. Moving on now to micro 5, meso 2. Guys, the warm-up isn't going to change. So you can copy paste the warm-up into each of the other 2 programs. Here, I've changed from interval training now into continuous training. I'm still on the treadmill. I'm still going to do 10 minutes. My RPE now, because we're continuous, is going to be between 6 and 8 RPE. And we're going to have 4 teaching points for using that treadmill. So it's very simple. Coming in now to program 2, remember I need to show 2 more different training systems. So for the next 2 training systems, I'm going to use a tricep and I'm going to do a descending pyramid. Remember, tricep, 3 exercises back to back, no rest. So for this tricep, I'm going to do pec deck, lat pull down and shoulder press. Equipment, pec deck, lat pull down machine and dumbbells. Then the sets, the reps, the intensity. So it's going to be 2 times 15 repetitions at 65% 1 rep max. So I've gone from 60% of 1 rep max and I've increased it now to 65% of 1 rep max. So I've changed something to make the intensity greater. And then 4 teaching points for each of the 3 exercises within that tricep. Then we're going to do a descending pyramid. Remember, descending pyramid is starting low reps, high intensity, going down to high repetitions, low intensity. So here, the 1, 2, 3 sets, I'm going to start off at 5 repetitions at 85% of the client's 1 rep max. In this example, 80 kg. Then I'm going to drop to 10 repetitions or increase to 10 repetitions and decrease the intensity. So I've gone from 80 to 70% of the client's 1 rep max, which is coming down now to 65 kg. And now I'm coming down up to 15 repetitions and decreasing the intensity to 65% of the 1 rep max, which is 50 kg. Just an example on the weight, but you put in your client's actual weight. Then to finish it off, I'm going to do a deadlift as a multi-set. I need the barbell. We're going to do 3 times 15 repetitions at 65% of the client's 1 rep max and 30 seconds rest in between each set. And 4 teaching points for the deadlift. For the cool down, you can pretty much copy paste the cool down into there as well. If you want to again add in a PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation stretch, then by all means do so. But remember, static stretches, either maintenance or developmental. Coming then on to our last program, micro 10 in mesocycle 3, I can pretty much copy the same warm-up. The warm-up probably won't change. If you want to change the equipment, no problem, up to yourself. Then the main CV, I'm still going to do treadmill. I'm still going to do continuous. I'm going to increase the time from 10 minutes to 15 minutes. I'm still going to keep the RPE between 6 and 8. And I'm going to write in 4 teaching points for the treadmill. Remember, you got to show progression on your client in each of the 3 programs. Moving then on to the resistance training, I'm going to do an agonist superset and a drop set. Remember, 2 different training systems in each of the programs. So agonist superset, remember, agonist is 2 exercises back to back, no rest, same muscle group. So for this example, I'm going to do chest press followed by push up. For the chest press, I need the barbell. For push up, I'm going to use body weight. The intensity, 3 times 10 repetitions at 70% 1 rep max, 40 kg. So I've increased the amount of sets, I've decreased the amount of repetitions, and I've increased the percentage of 1 rep max. So pretty much from here, endurance training, now into hypertrophy training. The drop set, we're going to do on the leg press. So remember, set 1, you can go up as high as the client's 1 rep max. So you do 1 rep, then you drop 20% of the weight, and you go to failure until your client cannot do any more reps. Then you drop the weight 20% and you go to failure. Your client does as many reps as possible until they cannot do any more. So here, I'm going to superset and drop set. Then I've got 1, 2, 3 multiple sets to finish. So leg extension, leg curl, and seated row. Remember, I've always tried to balance my training program. So if I'm doing chest exercises, I want to do back exercises. I'm doing front of legs, I want to do back of legs. Balance your workout. Guys, absolutely no bicep exercises and no tricep exercises in your programs unless they're part of a pre or post exhaust training system. Then add in all your 4 teaching points for each of your exercises. Then your cool down, pretty much copy paste. Okay? If you want to make it more complicated and do split body workouts, that is completely up to you. But this, linear loading, very basic, periodized program. As always, if you like the content, please like it. Leave me a comment if there's anything that you're struggling with through your level 3, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.